to talk now about our jet, though. And our jet sweep I've run jet all my life. I mean, like since I put the jet sweep in 1982. And we did it under center. We've done it in gun, and they just started to stop it. So now what we do is we have a kind of a triple I've changed the way that we run jet so that we can get it. And the reason we run jet is we want to have every formation we got, every play we have, if you add jet motion to it, left or right, you've made another play. You made the defensive coordinator think. You've changed the way it's run. You've changed the formation, actually. So I'm going to talk about that today. It's our jet's triple. It's like our triple option. You run jet, we run an internal run, or we throw the football off it. All right, so we have three ways the quarterback can be able to figure out how to run the jet. Real quick, I'm going to put this up there. When I took the job 2 years ago at Roswell, they're 0-10 4 years ago. Okay, and they were 7-23 before we installed it. And the first year we did it, a year ago, we ended up going 8-4, made the second round, and we averaged over 500 yards a game. This year we're 14-1. We're undefeated, and we lost, I said, to Cobleigh County, which is ranked number 2 in the nation. We ended up ranked 20th in the nation. We scored 625 points. We averaged 44 points a game. You know, this is all just stuff. But what we did was we threw for 3,100 yards, and we ran for 2,800. Now, 1,800 of those yards were passed off called runs. So they're RPOs or some called run. All right, so I'm calling runs like crazy, but we're throwing the football because we're not covering them down. I'm kind of going to go over that, okay? So we ended up with over 6,000 total yards. I've never come close to doing that. And we pulled kids. Like a lot of people will say they'll come up on their team and they'll talk about how they averaged, like, or they scored 70 points a game. I go, why? Why would you put 70 or 80 on somebody? All right, but our kids, most of the time, we were yanking them real quick. So we could have scored a lot more. Percentage of what we run, our run yards were 47% and pass yards were 52, and our run to pass ratio was 55 run, 45 pass. So we're kind of even, and I think that really helps you when you're even. But the big thing is we have RPOs, we have pass tags off every single run that we have. And what that does is it keeps you out of a bad play. Okay? Your quarterback can keep you out of a bad play. All right? And you can stretch the field. All right? So with that in mind, we're going to talk about the jet sweep. On the jet sweep, it's a signature play on our offense. Okay? We're fast-paced tempo, so we're really going fast. We said that when we're running the offense, we want to snap the ball. You know how Chip Kelly says they're going to run their play like, what, 13 or 14 seconds they want to snap? When I talk to Coach Malzahn and those guys at Clemson and Auburn, they don't look at it that way. Because they say the time the official spots the ball is always different. And the time he winds it, like we'll be running down there, we'll be waiting, we're going like, come on, spot the thing, let us go. And they don't let you go. We want to snap the ball within 3 seconds of the time it's spotted. So that's our goal. We want to be 3 seconds from the time it's spotted. Okay? We can use this motion, all right, to create multiple plays and formations. So if you got a formation and a play, and you run the jet left or right, you create more different formations and more conflicts for the offense. So, and the next thing is you're always getting on the perimeter. I always said, like, you know, those spread guys are always 2x2 and 3x1. Does your offensive coordinator want to play that, or does he want to play 40 formations with multiple motions? Okay, ask him what he thinks he wants to defend and how long it's going to take him. So we want to be able to do that kind of stuff. Okay, traditional jet. You know, we used to run on any offense. You know, it stretches the field. All right, basically we used to think of it this way. You can run on any formation. You stretch the field. You can run it bunched up and run to space. You can spread them out. And you would make tacklers run, okay, and cover guys tackle. So when we're running regular jet, we want to make the defensive linemen run, and we want the perimeter guys to tackle. And because that's exactly what they don't want to do. All right, so what does this do now? Now, we stretch the field like we did before. We stop the run fits by the linebackers, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But we're going to run jet on the perimeter. We're going to run an internal run inside. So if the backer runs out, and I'll show you, we're going to run the quarterback, or we're going to throw the ball off the back end. So we're going to make sure that when we run jet sweep, we're not going to get freaking ear-holed because they run the defensive end out, they crank the safety down, and they blow you up because, you know, they just bring everybody to the edge when you run the jet. So we're going to be able to stop them. So now we're going to make cover guys tackle and cover, and we're going to make the tacklers defend the internal run. Okay? Quick, what the jet does. All right, we're running jet sweep, and if you can look at all the jets, you want to make sure that most teams, they want to fit. Okay? They want to have all their run fits. But if you're running jet, you better run your ass out. You better run out. And if you don't run out, you ain't going to be able to play it. And if that guy, usually, if you run any jet sweep, you're going to see him coming over the top all the time. All right? So we want to expose them. We want to make them run sideline to sideline instead of run fit. Okay, now, advantage of being in the gun. In the gun, you can see the field, or the quarterback can see everything. Enhances the passing game, and you can always have an RPO tag. You can have a pass tag to everything. You can't do it if you're under center. Well, you can do it, I guess. I see guys doing it, but it's not, it's not the greatest thing. We have stopped, whoops, let me go back. We have eliminated our three-step game. Right here, we have eliminated our three-step game because it's all built in. All our passes are built in with rules. So depending upon what the motion is, where the tailback is determines what the perimeter is going to do, because our perimeter guys don't block anymore unless the only play that our perimeter guys block is jet sweep to it. Everything else, they're running a pass play. Okay? Shoot, those guys ain't blocking anyway, so they might as well do something. If they run a pass play, you're occupying defenders. Okay? All right, no need to check the play anymore. We don't check many plays because we're tempo. We're going really, really fast. And when you're going fast, they can't blitz very good. Okay? They have trouble lining up, so they go base. All right, so when we're going fast, and remember I said our A words are sweeps, our B words are power O. We have all letters. So when we're running down the field, our O-line knows that. So if they hear a B word, they know they're running power O. They don't worry about anything else. So that center's flying down the field. He's lining up, and they know they're running power O. They're just waiting to see which side they got to do it to. All right, so you can really go fast. Okay, next. Okay, when we run jet, our new jet, okay, we're going to run it 7 ways. We can run it traditional, where we're going to pull the front side guard, reach the edge, and run the jet sweep. Or we're going to run all these internal run plays, blocking schemes. And we're going to read the inside linebacker. And if he runs out, the quarterback's going to keep the ball. Or if I see him running out, I can give it to the tailback. And I'm going to show you how we do that. On the back side, we're going to run our three-step game. Okay, so when we have our jet motion, our split end is going to be running our whole three-step game to the back side. And I'm going to tell you how we kind of have our rules to do that, and our quarterback has a signal system to throw the football if they're uncovered. All right, now, under center with our traditional jet was like this, okay? So we would run it, you know, this guy would block, the edge would be here, everybody would be cranking down, the backers over the top, they're coming off the edge. You know, it was kind of hard to run it anymore. So it would look like, it would look like this, and okay. I'll run it again here. So we'll put them in motion really quick. So it'd be under center. We would run this guy across. We'd snap it at the backside of the offensive guard's heel, and we'd go to the edge. And we have that guard pulling. Okay? That does not work very well anymore. Okay? So now we go into the gun. So when we go into the gun, we're always going to do this. So quickly, personnel-wise, we're going to have 2 slots. And I was talking to Coach about why. I'm in the old wing T thing where a lot of guys have 2 wide receivers. And we want to run with a tight end or an extra wide receiver. All right, we want 2 slots. All right, and the reason we got 2 slots is because our slots, when you see them here at Roswell, they're 5'3", 5'4", 5'5", and 5'6". Okay, every one of them weigh under 155 pounds. Where are they playing? When I got there, they weren't even playing. Now everybody says, look at all the talent you got, how much speed you have. Whoa, how much speed you got. And heck, they weren't even playing before. So you can find guys to play that spot. All right, and what do those guys do? They run jet sweep and they catch bubbles and quick screens and choice routes and stick routes, okay? And they can be an issue, even if they're small. And they don't have to block that well. Okay, now, traditional gun. All right, let me go back real quick. What we're going to do is we put him in motion, All right, so when we put the slot in motion, if we're going jet to the right, we're going to put him in motion. When he goes in motion, he goes as hard and as fast as he can go. We're going to snap the ball, okay, on the outside foot of the offensive tackle. The quarterback is going to receive the ball, and he's going to take 2 shuffle steps. Okay, he's taking those 2 shuffles, so he's getting down the line with a mesh, and he's going to read whether it's an internal run or a pass. Okay, and then we're going to block on the edge. So that's what we're going to do real quick here. I'm just going to go real quick through the alignments. Okay, the quarterback here is going to be quarterback. We have this quarterback at 4 yards. Okay, we used to have him at maybe a little tighter, but he's at 4 yards. Our wing backs are going to split the difference between the wide receiver, who's going to line up on the numbers if it's in the middle of the field. If it's not in the middle of the field, he's going to be 3 yards outside the hash. He's going to run over the hands of the quarterback. So he's going to go full speed over the hands of the quarterback. He's going to be about 3 yards deep off the line of scrimmage, these 2 slots. Okay? The fullback is going to be back, and he's going to put his toes. He's going to put his toes, if the quarterback is here, he's going to put his toes right on the heels of the QB. All right? And the reason for that is we still run the inside zone and all that, but what I want him on the heels is because when we run jet sweep, he has got to get out on the perimeter and make the tackle. All right, so his toe's got to be there. We're going to take our belt buckle, and we're going to split the inside crotch of the tackle with his alignment. So he's going to be right here with his belt buckle, or you can put your outside foot on the inside foot of the offensive tackle. So that's our alignment with those guys. Okay? Now, okay, our line splits for our O-line. We're 2 by 2 right across, and we want to get as deep as we can. We don't want penetration, so we usually line up our O-line as deep as we can. So what I do is usually I tell them that your helmet is supposed to break the plane of the numbers. Okay? So I'm going to tell them that I want my hand on the heel of the offensive center. Okay, that's going to be illegal. Okay, he's going to be back too deep. And last year we went 11, 12 games like that. And then if they tell you to move up, we put our hand on the ankle bone of the center. And that'll move them up and break the plane. Okay? But if you can get back, the better. Because the deeper they are, you know, they'll come running upfield and you'll be able to trap them. They won't be able to chase down your jet. And you'll have good angle blocks, and it's better for the inside zone with your drop steps. The deeper, the better, okay, for us. So we want them as deep as possible. We want 2-foot splits all the way across. Okay, so we're back as about 2 feet is about as much as we can go. We used to have this identifying system. We don't do that anymore, so I'm going to kind of go through that and kind of see how we're going to ID it. Our O-line is going to have an internal blocking scheme no matter what. All right, so when we're running the jet, we don't have to identify anybody. They're going to block internally. Our end man of the line of scrimmage is going to reach the end man of the line of scrimmage if we're calling jet sweep. So when we reach the end man of the line of scrimmage, that could be the tight end. All right, and we run jet to the tight end different than we run it to the split end. So I'm talking about the tight end side now. So we're on the tight end side. The end man is going to block. So what we do when we block is we make sure that we're going to have a reach step. And when we're going to reach the end man line of scrimmage, we're going to drop step as deep as we have to get that end man. All right? So if he's tight, we're going to take a slight drop. If he's wide, we're going to take a big drop. Now, when we go to reach him, we're going to drop step, and we're going to take our backside hand, and we're going to try to rip it through the armpit of the defender. Coach, you might stand up here real quick. So if I'm here and I'm going to reach the end man line of scrimmage, if he's kind of wide, I'm going to drop. I'm going to drive it, and I'm going to reach, and I'm going to try to get it through here. And all I'm trying to do is lean in and try to get him. I'm not really trying to block him. I'm just trying to wall him. Because if you don't, we used to do this. We'd take a lateral step and try to go through his crotch, and he can still beat us outside, and we're just doing that Olay stuff. If we reach like that, we can get him. We can get a stalemate. Thanks, Coach. So we're going to do that end man like that, okay? We are going to push crack the edge on everything. So our wide receiver, which usually is out about 12 to 14 yards. We don't run with tight slots anymore. We're out 12 to 14 yards. He is going to see the half defender. He's going to take his stay. He's going to come off slow. And if we have an invert guy coming, he's going to crack him every single time. If he doesn't come, will stock block. All right, our fullback is going to take 2 lateral steps. So he's going to take a vertical step. So if I'm the tailback, I'm going to take 2 horizontal steps. I'm going to read the crack of that split receiver, of that split end or the A-back, and then I am going to take the corner if he takes that safety coming down. We get invert every time. It's a crack every single time. I don't know about you, but when we motion, we see too high, we're going to get an invert safety. We're going to crack him every time, and the tailback's going to go to the corner. If he doesn't, and they're 1 high, then he will go to the, he will wrap to the free safety. So that's how we're going to do that. Okay, so we're going to crack stock. So it's going to look like this. Okay, we're going to play the edge. If we're running traditional jet here, all right? So we're going to pull the front side guard, and we're going to wrap him to the backer. He's going to push, crack the safety coming down. Usually we have 2 highs there, and he comes down. He'll push it, and then he'll crack it. He's going to go vertical and then take the corner. Okay, the end man is going to reach on the edge. All right, so that's how we're going to have that. Now here's what the push crack's going to look like. Okay, so we're running jet. We're in a sniffer set. There's the crack right there. You can see it real quick right here, where our wide receiver, he's got, and you can't come off fast. We come off under control. There's the guy coming down. He cracks him. The tailback is on the corner. He never gets there, but he should be. And that's what we're going to do every time we run the jet, okay, on the perimeter. Okay, formations is the key. We've got multiple formations along with short tempo or short huddle. We want to go as quick as fast as we can. When we communicate it, you know, our 21 set is king and queen. Our 11 set, you know, where we have as red and blue. If it's a tight, we go redder. With the R, it makes them go wide. So we'll have an 11 set. Looser is our 10 personnel, and 32 is our hammer. And so when we call it, all we have to do is call these formations and then put tags, and we can tag it on them real quick. That's just kind of how we call them. And then we have tags that we can change our alterations of our formations. I want to just kind of go quick because I want to get to all these RPO rules. I know we're going to run a little late. All right, RPO. When we run jet motion, if we have a single receiver, our single receiver rules, okay? So to the back side, if we're in the middle of the field, we're running a speed out every single time, okay? We threw about 28 speed outs off single receiver jet motion. All right, it might not be the jet play, but we run jet motion on all kinds of plays, and we end up with a single receiver. If we're in the middle of the field, he's running a speed out. Now, a speed out is like this. We have our inside foot up. We're going to take 1 vertical step up the field, 2 vertical, and then we're going to roll over on the 3rd one, snap our head. It's about 2.5 yards. I don't want a deep speed out. I want it like 2 yards at the most because I want to get that ball out like that. I want it on him, and I want him to be able to turn up the field with a 2-way go. Okay, I don't want him to catch it 5 yards and get tackled. I want him to get it quick, stress him, and get up the field. Okay, because usually when we're running jet motion, that corner's doing this. And if you get that ball out to him, he's got space to go. If we're into the boundary, we tell that wide receiver to get as tight to the boundary as you can get, and we're going to run a hitch. And our hitch is just 5 steps. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and turn in. Okay? And we're going to go right on that boundary. Okay, why do you do that? Because you're stretching a corner. They do not want to put another player out there, and you got a one-on-one situation into the boundary. So we're going to do that every time. The rest of them, if we're running slants or out and out, all right, if we want an out and up, okay, the double move, all we do is if the quarterback decides to do it and somebody jumps him, he gives them a shoulder, they turn it, and we throw it. So it's all built in, all right? If we're going to run slant or fade, he signals it. So we have a little signal system where the quarterback will just signal it and we'll change the play, okay? All right, next thing. So we're going to run our RPOs off the edge. So here we go. We're going to run, we're running jet. And he's just going to get it out to the out. Okay, as quick as he can go. So every time we run motion, we run a pass play. We tell the we tell the quarterback, if that corner is off him 8 yards or more, throw the ball every single time. I don't know if this is the best one to run because he was up kind of tight, but he's there. All right, and he's got to get it out really fast and really quick. So now we're running jet, but we get the ball out to the, and again, like I said, we're getting the ball out to, where the heck is this pause button? I don't know where it is. Our little guys, that guy's like 5'3", all right? But he's an issue because he's fast, all right? And you get him a two-way go, you can make him move, all right? Now, next one. This is our state championship game against Cobleigh County, probably the best team I've ever played. But here's, we're running jet motion, so down the bottom, ball's out. You get a one-on-one, at least you get a play where you don't have to run the jet, you can get that ball passed every time. Okay, here's another one real quick. Okay, we're running jet, so that puts him down. That means he's going to run it real quick out. Now, ordinarily, we would tell him to run, whoops. Ordinarily, we'd tell this guy he would run, you know, he's kind of into the boundary, but if we're in that inverted formation like this, he's just going to run the out. Now, the quarterback's got to get rid of it really quick, and he's already pre-snap read that. All right, so you want to get that ball out as quick as possible. Okay, next one. Okay, now, if we run into the boundary, we're going to tell that guy right here that we want him. I can't see that. Dang, Coach, this thing keeps coming out. We're going to put him up against the hash. Okay, we want him as tight to the hash as we can get him. Okay, because we want to pull this out. Now you can see if you're running RPOs. Now we would never get this before. You're running RPOs. You got 2 over 2 over here. You got 3 guys out there really on 1. So when I put him in motion, you see this, put him in motion here. Okay, they're going to rotate like usual, all right? And he sees right away he's backing up, so bang, you just put a hitch into the boundary, and you know, you got 4 or 5 yards every time you want to do it, okay? And we just kept telling them, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it until they can't cover it unless they roll up. All right, we'll do it again here. They're up into the boundary. Now we're going to run a hitch up the top. So he runs a hitch, and if they miss a tackle, you know, you got an easy big play. All right, so you want to, and that's all we're doing. We're running a 3-step game off the jet. All right, we haven't even talked about the internal run yet. Okay, now, he can signal it. So we're in the middle of the field, and he wanted to run a hitch for whatever reason. So he signaled him a hitch. I know because he's supposed to run an out, and you know, the guy tells me, I wanted a hitch, coach. I just didn't like the out, and plus he lined up really wide because the wide receiver's a moron. All right, should have been a little tighter. All right, so he ran the hitch right there. He gets it out. You got a one-on-one move. That don't happen that much, but did there. So you have a double move. Now, with a double move, all he's got to do is, if he jumps the hitch or he jumps the out, he just gives him a shoulder and he'll go. All right? So we work on that. So here, we run the jet motion, pumps him, and we just have that built in. We practice that quite a bit. Okay, now, we're running to the tight end side. We haven't talked about the internal run. All right, so we're running jet sweep, but we're only running jet sweep with the perimeter, reach the end man line of scrimmage, and this is like traditional where we would pull the guard, and when we do that, there's no read for the quarterback. He can throw the RPO or he can give the ball. Okay? If we get 4 down, our guys know they're calling it. Because all we talk about now, we don't talk about 3-3 or 50 or 4-3 or 4-2-5 or 4-4. To us, they're either 4 down or they're 3 down. Okay, they're 4 down or they're 3 down. That's what they are. Okay? And if they're 4 down, we're going to run the gut. And when we run the gut, this is an old wing T kind of look, but we're going to pull the guard. He's going to block the backer. Our guy's going to read the tackle. We're going to block backside here. And if this tackle chases, quarterback's going to keep. Okay? If he doesn't chase, the backer doesn't chase, he's going to give it. Because in order for them to stop the jet, this backer right here has to scream over the top, and that's what they do. They scream over the top of that edge, and when they do that, you can't run the play. Because good luck having your guard trying to pick that dude up. All right? It's hard as hell. All right? Now, when you do that, you stopped all these guys chasing, too. Okay? Because they better block that internal run, or your quarterback's going to go a ways. All right? So our guys know they're down there. They call this bando. I don't know what, oh, yeah. When we start naming names and we're calling everything out, the kids make up half the names. I don't even know what they're calling. Like, I got the script, and I'm calling, yeah, they're calling like some gang sign or something. I don't know what. They call anything that they can come up with, which is really good because now, heck, I don't even know what they're running. I don't know how the other team would, because I got coaches all the time saying, hey, we're going to get your signals. We had one team said they got our signals. We scored, all right, they said, we got your signals. The word, we know how coaches talk, and our head coach is always on Twitter and stuff. And so he gets up and he says, they got our signals. I said, so what? Let them have our signals. Team got our signals. 5 snaps, they had 10 men on the field. They're so busy trying to run a guy in, they didn't even get anybody in the game because we're going so quick, all right? 48-0 at halftime because we had 3 touchdowns where they had 10 guys, all right? So, you know, just something to think about. All right, so we're going to run bando here because it's 4 down. So they're going bando, bando, or whatever you want to call. And he's going to read, when we're 4 down and we're running this gut, we're reading the tackle. If he chases it, we're going to pull it. Okay? So here we're reading it. And so we're running jet. He pulls it. He pulls it. You don't go in there because that guy goes. I got one of those guys that goes wherever he wants to. Okay, but what he's doing is he's reading the tackle. So when we pulled, he ran upfield, so he pulled it. Okay, so it's just another way to run the play. Okay, if it's 4 down here, we got a sniffer. It's so what we'll call here is with jet. If I say sniff with a sniffer, that means my tailback's going to play the sniffer, and we're going to block this. We're going to block this regular. All right. So we just put the tailback in a sniffer set, and we gutted it, and he's going to read the guard. All right, so let's see if we can see it here. All right, so he's going to read this guard right there. So he runs out, he keeps it. Now, that was our quarterback 2 years ago, and as you can see, he's not like a speedy guy, and we didn't want to get him decleated. So I told him just to slide. But he reads it, and if that was our guy last year that was really quick, he's going to go a long way. So you have a way to stop these guys from running out. You see that middle back was trying to get out there quick. So we're going to read it that way. All right. If it's 3 down, we're going to odd block it. All right. An odd block for us is this. We're going to double fold and block the nose wherever he wants to go. Now we got everybody blocked on the odd front. Okay. We got everybody blocked on the odd front. So what we do now is going to read the backer. So if the backer runs out, he's going to keep it. Okay? So they call this Odessa, all right? Because, you know, it's like odd is the word. They come up with that. So they're either going bando, 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 Odessa, 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 and when we run jet, and that's the internal scheme they're going to run unless we change it and call something, tag it different. Okay? Because we'll tag it different. We'll call trap. We'll call trap back. Any multiple scheme you can get down there to run the jet with it. All right? So this is what this is going to look like. Okay? We got odd front. And he read it because the backer stayed inside. I think we'll see the inside shot. Guess not. Let's see if we got another one. Oh, here it is. Okay, so here you're going to see double fold, and what he's doing is he's reading 44, this guy right here. He's running out slowly, so he felt that he's just going to give it. All right? Yeah. Okay, so he's reading this guy right here, Coach. Okay, he thought that was slow, so he was going to give it. If he screamed out of there, he would have kept it. Okay? All right, now, 3 down again. Okay, jet motion, keeps it, just comes out the back door. All right? He's just going to go where, where the opening is. He's reading the nose. So the nose slanted, come out the back side. That make sense? All right? So the front side guard runs out. I mean, that guy's out. So he's going to come in here. All right, so that's how we're reading that. Okay, here it is again. Now, we can call it with a tailback. So Odessa's the call. So if I go Air Force Odessa, okay, we are going to give it to the tailback only or throw the RPO. Does that make sense? Because we're not going to run the jet. They're going Odessa, Odessa. He's going to call that play. So the tailback's going to take a counter step. And he's going to run that up in there. Okay, and you can run it front side or not. Here it is again real quick. Let's see it here. All right, so now we'll just run it with a tailback. So we can run these with a tailback by just a call and not run the jet. We can run the RPO and the tailback. So there's a bunch of different ways. You haven't called it any different. You're running the same play, and you're getting a different look. Okay? All right, now we can do this. We run this GTI against a penetrator. So we got this guy's a penetrator, so instead of running the gut, we want to trap him. So we'll usually run this with a tailback, not the quarterback. What happened was we got more with a tailback because my quarterback's running the zone. He's 5'8", he's 147 pounds. Okay? He's fast as heck, but he can't take a ton of hits. So sometimes we've got to be careful about how much we want him to run. So if I don't want him to run, we'll just call it, and we'll run it with a tailback, or he can read it. Now, when we call GTI, it's just that we're going to bring the front side tackle, and we're going to block him down on the backside backer. We're going to pull and trap and pull this guard. And so if he runs out, he keeps it, and if he doesn't, he gives it to the jet. We can call it and run it with a tailback if we want. So I think that's what we did most of the time. So here you can see it. We're motioning it. We called it with the tailback. And I think you see it with a tight shot where we're just going to trap him because the guy was penetrating. Here it goes. You're going to see the penetrator. Boom, we trap him. I'll run that back real quick. See the kid, he was penetrating and chasing. So we're reading this guy right here. So when he pulls, we get him trapped. And just another way to run an internal run to get your jet to go, to make sure that you can get your jet run. Because if you just run it the regular way, we're not. Okay, biggest one we got is trap back. All right, so now we're going to read this man. So we're going to run the jet, but we're going to read this backside linebacker. We're assuming that we can get the jet out the back end if he takes off. All right, so the quarterback's going to read him, and if he runs out, he's going to take two shuffles, and he's going to crank it, and we're going to trap it backside. Okay, we still have the RPO at the front, and we got the jet sweep up the front. So here's what it looks like. This is in our state championship game. Okay, we're on jet motion. They slant, so we wash them, and we end up trapping almost nobody out that back there. So it protects our jet sweep. Okay, it protects our jet sweep. We ran quite a few of those. Okay, here's another one. Okay, we're going to read. We're trying to go fast so we can go, sometimes not so fast, but we're going to read the backside linebacker, which will be, I'm assuming, okay, this dude. And it's good when you got to get a little motor guy like that. Let's get another one that wasn't great. All right. Now, let me go back real quick. Alert, if we get a 3 down with a drop end like in an Okie front, but that end is like an issue, we got to go out there and get him. And we'll trap that 4 technique or that 5. Okay? sort of like what we do with the zone. And in the zone, we do that. We call it alert, so we just used it this way with that, okay? So we're going to do that. We're going to alert it, and we're going to do the same thing. All right, so this is what it looks like. It's an oaky front, okay? There's that oaky look right there with the, and he's a threat, so our tackle's going to go out and take him. We're going to trap that inside guy, and that's where we're going to attack. All right, so this way you're able to protect your jet sweep with a pass. You're able to protect it with an multiple internal runs. Okay, so it's not the same thing all the time, and it's easy to do. It's easy to drill. All right, so it's something you might want to consider doing. I mean, without this, we can't run the jet anymore. We can't do it. People who play, they're just too good. They just come too fast. I'll tell you exactly what they do. Our in-man line of scrimmage, the second we drop step, that freaking end runs out hard as he can. Okay, I drop, they're running. Okay, that front side back is running over the top full speed. That safety is coming down so dang hard, you got to throw the ball to stop him from doing it. This way, I got outs, I got internal runs, the quarterback decides, I got 3 plays in 1. Okay, now, next one. All right, I guess there's one more here. There it is right there. And so we've run that quite a bit. I'm going to go on to the next stuff. Okay. But we're going to run Power O with our jet also. So not only do we reach it and we run internal runs, we're going to run Power O. So that's just basically, we're going to double team, block back. We're going to skip pull to the backer. Okay. We're going to arc release the end. We're going to run Power O to the split end of the sniffer every time. We don't run the internal runs when we have a split end. To a split end, we're running Power O only. We'll run our internal runs to our tight end, that's it, tight end side, and we're going to push crack it, and we'll run Power O to the tight end as well. All right? If we run it to the tight end, we're going to arc release this man, all right, to the backer. We're going to double, we're going to skip pull, probably get the backside backer, and we're going to read. If it's a 4 down, we're going to read the end man, and if it's a 5 down or 3 down, we're going to read the tackle. Okay, and we're going to reach block. So I'm going to show you how we do that. Okay, quick. Here it is, Power O. All right, going to the split end side, the tight end side. I'm sorry. I'll see the tight shot. So we're going to okay, we're going to read the four-tech, wherever that guy is, inside the tight end. The tight end's going to arc to him. We're going to read this guy, okay, and if he takes the quarterback, he's going to give it. We're going to double team, see? He reads them, and we're going to give it to him on the edge, okay? If it's a 3 down, okay, we are going to read the tackle. So we're going to reach to the tight end side. So we're going to reach block. We're going to read the tackle. We're going to come down. We're going to double. We're going to skip pull up to here. Okay, and it's going to look like this. Okay, now we're reading this. Okay, now we're reading that guy right there. Run it back real quick. We're reading. This guy right here is chasing our jet. So we know he's chasing our jet, so we're going to run Power O. So reading this guy here. Watch him run. He's up on that jet sweep. So we pull it. Now that's the 5-2 quarterback who can go run a long way when no one's there. All right? So if no one's there, your quarterback can pull it and run pretty good. Okay? All right, here it is here. You're going to see we're reading this man right there. He's running to the jet, so he pulls it. So you have multiple ways to run this jet sweep. Okay? You have to have multiple ways. 3 down again. Running Power O. He reads the end man, gives it to him. We push crack the edge, same way. All right, I got to keep moving here. All right, to the split inside. Okay, we're going to read the end man line of scrimmage. We're going to push crack, and our slot will block the most dangerous man. All right, usually this one here, the first man outside the read key. Okay? Okay, I got to get quick because I want to get it with a sniffer. So there's the read right there. He keeps it because he runs upfield. Okay, and now you got RPO, you got edge. I'm going to be a little later, Coach, so I'm going to go over a bit. All right? So, okay, now I'm going to go, all right, with a sniffer. We have our sniffer. He's going to be right here. He's our Y. All right? And for us, that's green and black. Green's to the right, black's to the left. Okay? So if I'm going to go green right here, so I'm going to go green, Air Force, odd is what the call is. Our signals are odd and even. Okay? So that's our direction. Even is right, odd is left. You know those signs that those guys get up? We have signs too. Those are direction. Okay, because when I went to Auburn and Clemson, they have two signs, right? 4 pitches, correct? 4 quadrants. Go over there. It says an R and L on both of them. All right, so that's just telling them which way to go. So our sign will say, you know, what is the direction? So when we put the sign up, kids know whether it's right or it's left. So we're going Air Force, even. So our sniffer, all right, he is going to block. He's going to block the edge. We're going to push crack the edge. Same way. Tailback's going to read it. Arc release, and we're going to block most dangerous man on the edge. Okay, we're going to read the end man on the line of scrimmage. We're going to power O. We're going to block back. We're going to skip pull the backside guy. Okay, here it is. So, okay, this is the man we're reading. That's the invert guy coming down. There's the man that we're reading right here. This guy right here is our read. We're going to arc him on the edge, probably get the backer. He's going to try to get this. Now, they're coming down really hard. So that's why we come off slow, and we just get them cracked right there. Now, if we don't do that, that play is gone. It is not run. That's what they would do. They'd stop our jet all the time. Now, we got a way to run it all the time. Okay? Here it is again. Let me get another one. There's a sniffer. Now, here we go again. He's going to come down. We're going to crack that. He's coming down just under control. Okay, here's another one. Sniffer's going to come. He's going to end up blocking the edge into the boundary. They're just down under control. And we were never able to get these kind of jets when we're just running it one way. We're just pulling the guard, reaching the edge, and getting out to the corner. We run it multiple ways. Okay, verse 3 down. I'll run it back here. Okay, you can see here's the invert man right here. He's going to get cracked. Or we got him stock blocked. So just a bunch of different ways to run it. Okay, a couple other things. We can run it unbalanced. Okay, so we call this gold. When we call this gold, what we do is we put 2 Y's in. Okay, so we have a sniffer in, and we put our second tight end right here. So basically, it's unbalanced. Okay, so we're running unbalanced, and we put the second guy in. This guy's big, and this guy here is usually a force player. He's not that big. So we're playing, it was our second round. We're playing Camden County, and they can scoot. They are fast, but they're not that big. So I put a big guy on him so that we could get the edge, and he just destroyed this guy. Got our sniffer out in the backer, got a push crack, and we got a great edge. Just another way to run it, starting with formations. Okay? So here it is, right here. This is in our second round playoff game. Now, you can see out here that I got a 230-pound guy, okay, on a 170-pound force player right out here. Okay, so, and we're going to block him here. We're going to read this man. We're going to push crack it, and he's out on the edge. So he has no prayer on him. Okay, so you just get a bigger guy on the force guy. Okay, so just something to think about. Did it again right here. All right, so here's the big guy. Now they're smart, so they changed up and got a bigger player out there, but we still got it. So he's reaching, he's got him got them walled. And just another way we can get the edge.